Hello everybody, it is Steve, your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome. Welcome back to another video over here on That's Comical, and if you're watching and it happens to be a Wednesday, happy new comic book day. Well, even though we talk a lot about Western comics and Western movies here, we do still want to let people know that manga and anime are a part of this channel, and I'm really glad to sit down today and talk to you guys about the currently latest offering from the world of Dragon Ball, and that, of course, was the 20-episode series Dragon Ball Daima. It was actually the last Dragon Ball project that was actually written by Akira Toriyama before he unfortunately passed away just a couple of years ago. And what really made me happy about this was, even though it took me a little time to see it because I wasn't really able to watch it in the original Japanese audio, I actually had to wait for the English sub to finally come my way so I could watch all 20 episodes. But this was actually, and it was said that Akira Toriyama took a lot of the influence of this specific show from Dragon Ball GT, the one Dragon Ball project that is not his, and to some, a lot of people do not consider canon. But this was the story about just a little time after Majin Buu was destroyed, so this is even before the birth of Pan, that all of a sudden the demon world is without a leader because of the death of Deborah, and this little imp named Goma decides that he wants to be the leader of the demon world, and to prevent Goku and his friends from taking his throne, because he sees how strong they are, he casts a spell to turn them all into children. And it's not just Goku this time. Everybody has been turned into children, and all the people who were children at the time, like Trunks and Goten, have been turned back into babies. So it is now up to Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and even Bulma to go over into the demon world and look for the demon world's Dragon Balls to reverse the curse. And I gotta say, I really wasn't sure what I was going to expect from this, but I have very much enjoyed Dragon Ball ever since I finally got exposed to it when I was in college. That's when I first saw Dragon Ball Z, and I've mixed myself around. I watched Super finally, loved that, watched Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, all the movies. So of course, knowing that we were going to get a little bit more Dragon Ball made me very excited, and now knowing that there is finally going to be a sequel series to Dragon Ball Super based on the next grouping of stories from the manga, I'm even more excited for Dragon Ball Galactic Patrol. But Dragon Ball Daima was a lot of fun. It definitely wasn't a fast-moving story until, of course, we got to the end. But what I loved the most about the show was how the Dragon Ball world got ever more expansive, and they gave us a little bit of a deep dive into the demon world. We actually got to meet Supreme Kai's siblings. I had no idea that he had a brother and a sister. We learned a little bit about how the demon world is actually connected to the Namex, and I never would have imagined that either. It was also really cool to see some new characters. Of course, King Goma is hilarious, and of course, we've also got Glorio and Pansy is an absolute delight if you like spunky characters. And Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo, they all have great moments in this show. And I really did enjoy the story. And it was also very interesting to see that the hunt for the Dragon Balls in the Demon World was a lot shorter than hunting for regular Dragon Balls, because there were only 3 and not 7. And this time around, in order to attain a Dragon Ball, you have to defeat a Guardian, and after you defeat them in combat, you have to answer a riddle. I thought that that was really clever. And of course, when you get to the end, and you get to the final couple of episodes where Goku and Vegeta go against Goma, you get some amazing moments, and I think probably one of the best parts was how they paid tribute to Super Saiyan 4, and we even got to see Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3. That was pretty amazing, because if you remember GT, Vegeta went immediately from Super Saiyan 2 all the way to Super Saiyan 4. There was no Super Saiyan 3. But it was nice to finally see that actually happen. Has a really cute theme song, the animation is wonderful, and yes, when you finish this series, you are very much satisfied with where it ends, and you're just excited for the next adventure. And you definitely are excited for the next adventure, because if you haven't seen Dragon Ball Super yet, that is where you go. So I really had fun with Dragon Ball Daima, and I think probably one of my favorite things is the fact that it was only 20 episodes, very condensed, very easy to digest. The only thing that I could say was a negative was the fact that we didn't get any insight into what was going on with all the other characters while they were turned into children and babies. I mean, of course, one of the best parts when they get turned into babies is the fact that Krillin loses all his hair. I really thought that that was just too funny. But it would have been nice to see what was going on with Goten and Trunks and the Ox King and Chi-Chi and 18, but we didn't. And that's basically what we got. But anyway, Dragon Ball Daima was fun. I had a good time with it, and I'm hoping that if you've seen it, let me know if you have, and let me know what you thought about it. And hoping you're all excited for some more Dragon Ball adventures when the Galactic Patrol comes out. I know I am. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.